Good evening, everybody. This is Lethal Sales, and it is December something 6th. Welcome to Lethal Sales. Welcome to all our guests. Tonight's topic is social media, and this could go in a lot of different directions. Who wants to get started here? Larry?
Peter, you
Go
want me to take
ahead.
it or you want to jump in first?
No, you go ahead. I'll follow up.
Well, my commentary is kind of simple. It's so interesting that as we just keep taking these leaps and jumps with technology, AI, and all the rest, how scary it is that so many dealers aren't utilizing, the salespeople aren't utilizing social media either to its best or at all. Um, you know, Russell Hill's probably going to nod so much his head's going to snap off. How many times does a dealer brag about his website or her website, and then you go there and the thing's broken? It's got 9 things where the numbers are out of date, or you can't reach anybody. So I think if we can just all throw some good ideas around, if anybody wants to listen, not I don't mean the people to show anybody on the outside, maybe we can find a way to push them in the right direction because I think social media is being tremendously neglected.
Okay, so let me jump in. In Toronto, which is Canada's largest city, third largest city in North America, I was asked by a publication, automotive publication, to do a deep dive into social media for 3 brands. I could pick any one that I wanted. So I picked Toyota, GM, and BMW. Of 32 market segments in social media, the failure rate was 68%. They didn't meet their peers' average in 68 different categories. It was the most horrific thing I ever saw in the car business. I took that study into a buddy of mine's BMW dealership, met with their CFO, and said, this is what's happening. Do you think they changed a single thing? No.
Let me give you short answers. No. Did you look at variable and fixed on social media?
No, it was just their platform. It was just how many reviews, how many posts. It was just a general matrix across 5 different platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. That's all it covered. But in doing so, it was atrocious on the outlook that dealers look into social media. They don't care. But here's the thing: the world does. The world follows social media. That's how you get people like the Taylor Swifts of the world. That's why you get the Kardashians. That's why you get everyone. They have massive influencers out there, and they will direct people based on what they see. You can build a brand within a brand with social media. It is so important to understand how quickly it can affect your dealership. I was at a dealership in Michigan this year. I spent 13 weeks there, and their social media allowed that dealership to survive. It wasn't the foot traffic that got them there. It was the social media traffic that drove them there. And this is absolutely imperative that dealerships actually grasp what they can do and actually go to their teams and say, start building brands. You look at Jeff, the GM Jeff, that is out there. I forget what his last name is. You got the Dodge father. You got all these people that are building these social media personifications that are driving dealership footsteps to them and sales. And it doesn't matter if they're in sales, service, parts, or even a dealer principal. They have to recognize the importance. It's a $1 trillion industry. So you got to get into it. That's what I have to say off the hop. So go ahead, Michael. I would say you are probably the next one who wants to jump on it.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. There's 3 points why companies are failing on this. One, they don't have time. That's a terrible excuse for the money that's been made and proven. 2, they're not getting enough leads for the activity they're doing. So they'll take and they're all excited about doing 60 posts in a month for each platform, 2 a day, and they get no results on the first month. Then they reduce it down to 20 posts. Then they reduce it down to 10. Then they reduce it down to 3 a month. And they go, social media doesn't work. So, and the third reason is they can't, they're not finding the right content for them. So that discourages companies when they're not consistent. We have a saying in our mastermind is 2 a day, or your companies or your customers won't find their way to paying you. So we did, before AI, we did a study, and it's you can look it up at broadbrandsearch.net. And we asked, what can brands do on social media to get people to make a purchase? And 48% of those taking the survey said that just be responsive. When I write a comment, just write a comment back, engage with me. So, 46% said just offer something. 42% said just be educational, just educate me. 27% said just show me behind the scenes. When I go to your store or brick and mortar or office, I want to see something familiar, or when I want to see people that I can go, hey, I saw you on social media. And 26% said, just make my day, just make me laugh. And that's what's not being done. It's a mixture of what people want to see. And if you don't give it to them, they're not going to pay attention to you. So those are the stats, and we developed what's called a recipe. Okay, so if you put the word recipe on a margin, the R stands for recreation, like funny or jokes or something like that. The E stands for education. So just educate me on your products or service. Right. And then go on down the list. C is conversational. I is inspirational. And the P, which everybody does, is promotional. And the E stands for entrepreneurial, which they take pictures of the staff and people having fun doing their job. Sure. Those are the 2 that are main focus on social media.
Hey, can I react to a couple things that you said?
Absolutely.
The first thing is, Confucius said the hardest part of the journey is the first step. It'd be nice if these people just started doing something and built from there. And the second thing is, once in a great while, we get too busy to do something. In a great while. But if it's a constant excuse that you're too busy, it means you're not managing your time properly. Because everybody on this damn show is extremely busy, and yet they find time to do things, which is why they're successful.
Yeah, just bounced off of that before I drop my mic. Is the thing is with AI now, that this is before AI and the statistics. Now we can automate and let AI find the content, and companies don't have to worry about this anymore. But you know what? It's 12 to 18 months in the future, they're going to go, oh my gosh, we could do this automatically. And yeah, they're going to have to find out the hard way.
Hey, it looks like we have Basel on our show. Welcome. And do you have any comments on social media and the effect of lack thereof with dealerships?
I just
Larry,
joined.
I brought Basel in. He's another good Canadian and a good friend of mine. And social media is right up his wheelhouse.
Basel, you just joined, but you are welcome to say anything you want to say.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We
Yeah,
can hear
buddy.
you perfectly. Just suspend
Okay.
any concept of mental stability when you're on our show and fire away.
Social media is definitely important. I don't know where you guys left off. I just literally just joined.
Well, then
Uh,
you might have missed Scott Trainor was trying to figure out if we would take a credit card for you to be on the show. Instead, just mail the cash to my house. Mike Larkin will put my address in. Hey, so start wherever you want. It's light, buddy. Just jump in. Social media. What can we do to improve it? Why aren't dealers using it properly? And we welcome you to the show.
Definitely, I think like from my experience, I started the social media kind of thing since 2018, 2019. And as I went along with the progress of the company growing, I definitely saw a transition from one dealer to another that wants to jump into it a bit by bit. Now, what they need to do and what they do not need to do, that depends on the person who's running the dealership or the organization. Some do believe that this is where the puck is going, where the future is going, and they have to invest in it. And they understand the financial commitment and they understand the consistency and the commitment to get to where they want. Some think, it's a phone camera. Just put whatever out there and post it. And after 3 months, we didn't get any result, just shut it down. It's not working. So,
or Basel, or else possibly adjust your pitch, because we all
exactly.
agree that it's worthwhile to do it. But like everything else, doing it wrong it is probably worse than doing it at all. But what other part of media do you want it to be raw and unfiltered? That's why it's like the equivalent of punk rock to rock and roll music, where you had guys like the Ramones and the Sex Pistols that could barely play. The whole concept was they were out there and it was raw.
That's right.
You know, people can see slick production everywhere. Here you get on, you wear a funny hat, you jump up and down, you make it short and punchy, and maybe you have a winner. Do you agree, Basel?
Don't make
100%.
Fred's hat.
The truth in the matter is that the name of the game is commitment and consistency. Because if you don't understand the commitment of doing it for at least 6 months, a year or two, they run out of ideas. They run out of, I've been doing this. It worked the first 3-4 months, and now what do I got to do? So it's to stay creative and to stay on top of the engagement and making sure that you entertain all aspects. You entertain just not the car guys. You entertain just not the female. You entertain all kind of individuals to actually follow you. And then the next step is to make sure that they contact you when you have a special or something. But I always look, our customers has been with us since 4 years ago. 90% of our customers, I started with them with 900 followers, and now they ended up at 50,000 followers. But when you look at it, it took them 4 years to get to where they want. It took them 4 years to get at least, 15 leads a month. From one dealer that I know of. It took them time and investment to know where they want to be today. And now I believe in a time of recession, they don't have to build anything, where a guy can approach us today and only has 300 followers, and he think by doing a $10,000 production video, he's going to make some magic. But that's not true.
The magic is just being out there. I was at a yard sale once, which I hate, and I bought a record for $1. It just looked hysterical, how to sell anything. You could tell it was 30, 40 years old. And the one thing that always stuck with me is the guy said, if you had a delicatessen for 20 years on the same corner, and one day you put a barber pole up, the red and white striped thing, somebody'd wander in and say, do you do haircuts here? We've become a political science question. A tree falling in an empty forest, does it make any noise? So you're 100% right that it takes a while to maximize it. But I think from day one, you've given yourself exposure, and all we really want is people to come in. What does BDC do? They sell appointments. And what good is a dealership without somebody getting people to come in?
Yeah, and you hit it on the right spot, which is exposure. because again, you guys are asking me about, I'm experiencing what I have been noticing in the last few years and how much we changed. Everybody's doing videos, as much as some people are not doing videos, but the videos are going to increase and increase and increase. So number one, how do you be different than the rest? And you don't have to be majorly different, but how do you stand out? And the second thing is, how do you expose it? Because you could spend $20,000 on a video or $500 on a video. It doesn't make a difference if nobody sees it. So the most
Exactly
important is doing the right collaboration, doing the right content. How do you expose it? Does people share it? You double up on the sharing. That's the most important thing, because you gotta be seen. That's the expose. I believe the future where it's going, it's not just gonna be doing content. It's gonna be how do I expose it? That's why Instagram, if you guys are familiar with Instagram or TikTok, they have a collaboration on top, and you can put up to 4 people collaborating, because the minute you post something, it goes on 4 other feeds. That's number one. And I'm going to tell you a personal experience, since we're talking about the dealers and where the 2020 going, 2024 is going next year. So I was talking to a dealer at the beginning of the week, and he was telling me that we want to jump into social media in our group. Also, you can have blah 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 blah. I said, great. He's like, yeah, I got to do something. And I said, I always ask why you want to have to do something. And the first thing he told me, he goes, we're having less traffic. The sales are down, and we know what's coming. We want to be kind of, on top of things. And, it's Lexus, and we have to start doing something for social media. And by the way, don't you do this Lexus asshole something? I go, sorry, why is he an asshole? Yes, I am doing advertising for them, the social media. And he says to me, what he said to me? He says to me, yeah, I had a customer coming in here. We sold him a car. He went to another dealer. The dealer dropped his pants by $2,000. And then he went to your friend who you do content for, and he dropped $4,000. And now I'm stuck to match it. So I'm like, well, that's great, but are you listening to yourself? And it's like, what are you trying to say? I said, right now, the market is 3 dealers are fighting for 1 customer. Let me repeat, 3 dealers are fighting for 1 customer, where you wouldn't be even thinking about social media 6 months ago, because nobody was fighting for another customer. And in 2024, I have some news for you. You're going to even actually be more fighting for a customer, because the market is changing with interest rate and all of these things. So your number one goal right now is to be exposed before even the guy think about buying a car or doing anything. Right now, you're going to go back to basics, which is customer retention. Where is your marketing getting? And all of a sudden now you're accountable that not a customer leaves with making sure that he doesn't go to another dealer. But it's
Basel,
funny how
I'm pretty sure that he didn't build rapport with the customer or do the right job. So that's yeah.
That's
listen,
what I'm
Basel,
trying. What I'm trying to tell him is we're going back to basics now. That's what I'm trying to say.
Basel, 2 things. One, the bad news is because you cursed, you have to send money to Rhonda for the swear jar. But
No
the
problem.
good news is you were such
Send me your Zen number.
But you were such a fascinating person to come on the show that I am going to give you a discount if you want to be on next week. Again, cash or money order, please.
No problem.
Looks like Durran Cage is here. Basel, do you know Durran Cage?
No.
Okay, and he calls Wilt Chamberlain shorty. So we'll jump right to Durran Cage. Durran, I'm serving up a fastball for you. We're talking about how social media is not used properly. And Basel, thank you so much. Durran, any wise words? Because your last 10 posts on LinkedIn have been out of sight good. It's that little red button. You press it, Durran. Why do I always have to be the tech one?
No,
Okay,
hold
there
on. It's E.F. Hutton.
Wait, let me call
Go
him.
ahead, Durran.
Durran.
All right. No, so I'll keep it short and quick. But hello, everybody. Good to see you. I apologize for
Durran.
being a little bit late. Hey, guys. But what I would just say is that one of the best things that you can do on social media is think about I don't know, I call it problems, issues, pain points, and just talk on those things. Just try to avoid from trying to sell anything. Just talk about solutions to common problems that we see in our industry, and offer some insights there, some examples, and then every now and then, throw on some testimonials, some reviews, what other people have to say. But it's whatever you're passionate to talk about, in my opinion. Whatever you're passionate about that resonates with whatever target audience you're going after. And again, my whole mission is to try to help at least one person when I speak or post, right? And so that's what I would encourage anybody, whoever's on here that's thinking about posting something, just think, okay, if I post this, is this valuable and can it help somebody do X? Can it help them sell one more car, set one more appointment, or something like that?
Would you yourself read it and enjoy it or find value?
Correct. There you go. That's it. That's what you're looking for.
Only because I think he has to get off the line. Can we jump to Tom Kline if he hasn't abandoned ship yet? Tom, are you still there?
No, he abandoned. He said hello, and he said hello and then goodbye.
Well, we've been talking sales and all that. We got Michael Barich. I don't know who's better with fixed ops than Michael Barich. Mike, would you like to spread some wisdom around, sir, on social media? Certainly neglected on the fixed ops part for sure.
Damn straight.
Mike, are you sharing the same button with Durran that you can't unmute, or did you jump in Tom Kline's car and take off? All right, you know what? We know Russell Hill is always on mic. Russ, let's hear it, my brother. You always bring value.
Listen, listen.
Oh, wait. Before you start, I just saw you on Brooke Furness's show. The two of you knocked it out of the park. I just got text messages from Mr. David Long and Miss Brooke Furness. They both would like to be here. David had a conflict, and Brooke is involved in some big thing, but they both like to be here. Sorry to interrupt you, my good friend.
No, listen, a lot of great stuff. I have, I always like these isn't things. So I know successful people do daily what average people do occasionally. Someone said it earlier, I think it was, just get started, okay? You don't have to know. You don't have to go from 0 to 100. You just got to get started, okay? You can figure it out with collaboration in rooms like this and get ideas and stuff and twist it up and change it up. Enthusiasm, excitement, obviously that gets attention. It doesn't have to be perfect. The significant problems and challenges that we face today in life can't be solved at the same level of thinking used to create them. Something's going to have to change, okay? I'm going to say right now, 80% of the websites out there and what they do on social media sucks. I'm just saying it like it is. There's not many people that do it right. More people in here probably do it right than the vast majority of people that aren't here. I wonder why you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, and you're not getting them. That's why. And the last one, I said it in Clubhouse this morning. Are you willing to do the things that other people aren't willing to do so you can have and become the things that most people will never have and never become? What the hell are you willing to do, man? Is this day one, or is it going to be someday down the road? It's right now. That's what, just get started. Just get started. That's how anybody that is successful makes it happen. They get up every day. They got a goal. They got a dream. They got a vision. And one of those things is surrounding people, listening to and reading the right stuff and associating with people that are like-minded. Hello, I'm in the room with all of you. That's my 2 cents.
Hey, by the way,
Russell,
just one sec before we jump in. Russell is part of a team with quite a few of you, Wendy certainly in it, called the Automotive Partners, where we're trying to, the old, high tide lifts all boats. We're trying to push ourselves up collectively. Tony T, would you like to have a quick word? And then maybe, looks like Mike Barich is now unmiked.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we can hear you
Loud and
great.
clear.
Go for it.
Bring it.
Awesome. Hey, good to be here tonight. I got to jump real quick. I'm in my small group at 8 or 6:30. I'm sorry. So I just want to jump in and thank you guys for inviting me in. The APA Automotive Partners Association in Clubhouse every Friday morning at 7 Central, 45 minutes. We get to know each other as vendor partners and learn how we can help each other and help our dealers. So I invite you all in. I got to jump, I'm sorry to say, but no, I'm not sorry to say, because I'm going to go study the word with some fellow believers. So I'm not sorry to say at all. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. All right.
Love you,
Thanks
man.
again,
Love you,
Larry.
man.
See you in the
Take care.
morning.
Guys. Yeah.
Mike
Good night.
Barish, are you able to speak now, my good and great friend? Still no Mike Barish. We got Basel
now
already.
you
Oh,
do.
we got April Simmons. April, who better to ask about social media and a
Right.
non-effective use of it than you, because you're about as effective as they come. Any
Yeah, she's-
wise words tonight, April?
She's a guru. Man.
Here she comes.
There she
Okay,
is.
am I unmuted? Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
multitasking like a mofo tonight. Apologize.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I do have a couple things to say. 1 second. I'm just getting ready to like head out the door, so I was multitasking. Anywho, here's what I want to say. First, to get dealers to actually do social media, they have to understand the purpose of social media.
That's right.
Unfortunately, most dealers look at social media like another piece of advertising, like a mailer that's supposed to yield immediate results. And social media's purpose is not necessarily to yield immediate results. So I look at social media as the digital sell yourself, sell the dealership aspect of the process. So, we all know the meet and greet, sell yourself, sell the dealership. That's how I look at social media. And I think sometimes we get too focused on doing the funny video on social media, and we forget that not everybody's comfortable doing those things. So I tell people, just do something, but do what you're comfortable with. Do what you would do if a customer walked in, you went out and shook their hand on the showroom floor. How would you build rapport with that customer? That's your content. Your content is that outreach to customers to show them who you are so that they want to buy from you. That is basically the organic side of social media. And you need to start there before you start doing paid ads. Then you can build a really strong paid strategy around all the other things that you're doing within your marketing.
Right.
Hey, in case you're not heading out in the next 30 seconds, I'd like to call on Martha, another absolute monster when it comes to BDC. Martha, can you throw us some kind words about some of the frustrations of dealing with dealers that don't understand the importance and utility of social media?
You see, part of my job is building retention, right? BDCs are designed to follow up on your on-sale customers, on your internet customers, on your service customers.
Now, wait a minute, Martha. Wait a
so-
minute. You told me off camera that your job is herding cats. Is that not the case?
That too. That I also do that. So when we remember the job of a BDC, right? We gotta stay relevant with the follow. That has been the the job to the service side and to the sales side, and putting them in another car or providing with the services. But somebody also mentioned, the competition is now higher, right? The competition is more angry. They're like not angry, more hungry. I'm sorry. I'm actually hungry because I haven't had lunch yet. So when I'm following up with these customers, now they're being exposed to not just my dealership, but so many other dealerships that they're actually using social media. 5 years ago, when I will call my list retention portfolio, my customer may be getting flyers from another dealership if they have been put an inquiry or something like that. Right? Most of the mailers were coming from me. Most of the email blasts were coming from my dealership. But now when they open the phone, they see everyone else's social media. So dealerships need to understand that they need to stay present and relevant, like April was saying. Otherwise, they're going to forget about you.
Right.
Or they're going to decide to go ahead and start developing a relationship with somebody else that seems to be funny, seems to be helpful, seems to be relevant, seems to be answering the questions that the dealership that they do business with hasn't answered yet. So as a part of BDC, for us, is a little bit hard because now developing that connection, it's a little bit harder because customers may not want to deal with us anymore because they're already working or liking somebody else. It's like before we didn't have too many options to buy something. Right now, you think about it, And the next thing that you know is all on your feeds on Facebook, Instagram, Amazon. I mean, like you name it. It's the same thing with the dealerships. So we gotta get into this
Yeah,
game.
but
like
but
April
Martha,
said,
we still have the edge. We still have the edge because of people like you and Wendy and April, because no robot can empathize.
That's
No
right.
robot can smile at you. And that becomes more crucial now than ever. You're 100% correct.
right.
So
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Hi, Peter.
So
So yes.
sorry, I just wanted to jump in there 1 second. For the last 3 people that have been on, they've all said you just got to start. One of the greatest athletes of all time in hockey, or arguably, Wayne Gretzky said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so you have to take the shot all the time, every single time. We cannot just go and not do it. We will learn along the way the processes necessary to retain the people. We can see it, and I'm a LinkedIn lion. I go out and I measure every single day the ups and the downs of my LinkedIn traffic. How many people, and I lose LinkedIn connections every single day. I also gain them. So I mentor them all the time. You have to be able to see that significant change or insignificant change to understand where your content has to be. So
Hey, Peter, now I'm going to jump on you because you got my brain working like you always do. That's why I love you. You mentioned Wayne Gretzky. Let's throw Tom Brady in the mix. These are two of the least unathletic looking people you'd ever seen.
Absolutely.
If you put Gretzky next to Messier or other guys in the league, he looked scrawny.
Oh, absolutely.
Brady, you'll never see Brady with the 12-pack. They were dyed-in-wool process users. They did what they were supposed to do all the time, not occasionally, not when they felt like it. It's process. And when you're done, Peter, we better get Wendy in because her head is, it's either her tree or the head is just exploding and pulsating with energy.
So just go on that Brady situation. Brady wasn't drafted in the first round. What round was he drafted in there, Mike?
6th.
6th round. He was over.
Like you just held up 7 figures. There will be a math class.
No,
right
seven Super Bowl rings.
Yeah. So having said that, he was given the key to the training center, and he was there almost 18 hours a day training. And the coach drove by one day and saw the lights on and go, "What the hell's going on?" And called the athletic director, and he said, "Oh, Brady's in there training."
Wait a minute. You're missing the key point. See, I always have to do the technical stuff on the show, folks. He gave up having sex with Gisele Bundchen to play football one more time.
That's it.
Well, that
Back
might be
to
a
social
psychiatric
media.
problem.
That's a big donation to the jar there, Larry.
The end. Okay, can I raise my hand and talk?
Please.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Just to change the subject. I've been doing social media for small to minuscule clients since 2015 as a business. And first of all, Mike, you're absolutely right. We purposely vary our content. We actually have a formula for it. And those percentages are exactly what we follow. We never did a test, but we kind of just figured out that's how it works. You always have to give people information, and it's good to have it be third-party information. You look at what's on Larry's LinkedIn. At least once a week, there's an article, and it usually draws response. You want to sell your product, of course, and you want to entertain people, and you want to let them know who you are. Now, for all the people who say, "I don't have the time," there's tons of people like me who do the work for you. You don't need the time. But, okay, I mean, the content, to create the content, you have to train, you have to get familiar with it. But marketing people are good at that. They're good at saying, okay, this is who your client is. This is what they should see. But bottom line, my most successful clients get involved with their own social media. They don't need to spend a lot of time, but when they do, they're in there. Their brand is who they are. And so I have like an electrician. He's got, let's say, 20-person company. Every day I post something for him. So he doesn't have to think about it every day. But once a week, he's going to put on a video of he took his guys out to do something fun, or he's involved in something in the community, or best of all, comes the Eagles game and he's got a shirt to give away with a contest. Okay. He's incredibly successful. But I do work for people who say, here, Rhonda, you do it. And I don't want to touch it. What I'm doing for them is I'm creating a persona that's not real necessarily, but it's who they are. And it gives people an idea of what they can do. And because I do some entertaining things, I also tell them, there's a person here kind of thing. But the kicker is organic social media, especially Facebook, is not working anymore like it did even 5 years ago. So things have to be shared. And if the auto dealer owner doesn't have time, I sent Larry and Peter an idea today. What you have are salespeople who want to succeed, send them off to make their own brand page. They can share stuff off the dealer's page, and they can build their own audience and their own customers. And they can be a lot more personal.
And Rhonda, why wouldn't they, since they're running their own business within somebody else's business with no debt service?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here's a chance to start your own business. And what you can do is within that business, be your own brand. And these are the people who bring back repeat customers or get the referrals to the next customer. And
Hey, Rhonda, if you don't mind me interrupting, which I love to do anyway, we have one of the nicest people and maybe the sharpest parts lady on the planet Earth with Kaylee. Kaylee, we're talking about social media, how underutilized it is, how ineffective it is if you don't do it consistently. Would you have some words even from your parts perspective?
Oh, this is a great topic. Oh, sorry, someone is calling me. Let me decline it. Can you guys hear me still?
Yes.
We can hear you. How's your baby doing?
Oh, he's good. He's really good. I'm distracted, so here, I'll show you guys.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Russell, Kaylee told me that she was this close to naming the baby after me, but her husband refused to call him, and knowing as Felio would have been very sad.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Kaylee, you just made my whole day. My whole day. I'm so happy to see you and the baby. My whole day is made.
Oh, April, hi.
Hey,
Kaylee, give us some wise words about social media for anybody that doesn't know. She's maybe the brightest light in the parts department, knows her stuff, and smiles consistently through anything. Go ahead, tell us some good stuff, Kaylee.
Well, I think you guys pretty much said it, and it's the consistency. And I think being yourself and just sharing that with the world and not overthinking things, because I think that's something I did in the beginning. And that's the most important thing, is just sharing who you are, because that's where you're going to create the brand and not worry so much about, what you're selling, and just talk about, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I always just talk about whatever I'm thinking about and what I'm dealing with. Yeah.
Peter, who should we get in next?
Well, we still need to hear from Scott, Jeff, and Wendy. So let's go with ladies first, and we'll go to Wendy because she's got the beautiful smile just sitting there ready to talk.
So many good things you guys have already mentioned, but I want to get a little bit historic. So I think that, hang on, I'm trying to close my chat. Okay, so a couple of years ago, when things were just starting to slightly ramp up, we did like credit amnesty events, Facebook events for about 12 different dealers through an advertising agency. And I learned the art of not only engagement, but conversion. So I think a very overlooked piece is, again, the human side. I think, first of all, and I must say, I'd be really, really a terrible person if I didn't say Kaylee, Felio, and April are both absolutely incredible. They're geniuses in their content. April I see her a lot, mostly, I mean, like her store stuff. I'm talking the Horn Group stuff. And thankfully, Fred and I were part of the holiday content last couple of weeks ago. But her Instagram, her everything, the way that they cut it up and share it out and this and that. And Kaylee, the way she puts her pieces, the way that she takes and edits her videos and puts little cliffhangers and little teasers. She's incredibly good at that. And if you knew her, if you'd visited her home, if you're whatever, she's very organized. Like she's just, everything is absolutely perfect, and that's why she's such a perfect human being, or as perfect as a human being can be. She's a super mom, a super friend, a super professional, everything. So I have to give them kudos, both of them.
Hey, wait a minute, Wendy, you just made me think of something. I'll be real brief. You're talking about April and Kaylee, and I talked about you. I just realized maybe another key, and Basel, who spoke earlier, will agree with me, is being upbeat. Because everybody on this show tonight is like extremely enthused and smiling and happy in general. And we all have the same share of problems that the miserable people have, but we're smart enough to get around it. It's just, you're sitting in front of the tree, and I'm thinking how much I enjoy Kaylee and April and Russell and Mike and the whole crew, Scott Trainor. Everybody's upbeat. Nobody's like, this sucks. It's tough. So that's another component. I was on your show today. You missed it, but I was on with April, and they said, what's a good thing to examine? Because you probably know this, Martha. They have a show called The Human Side of AI. And I said we should look into getting the AI side of human, emphasizing smiling and empathizing, and then using AI as a tool. I'm sorry, Wendy, I didn't mean to cut in, but I'm thinking about how upbeat and smiley everybody is on this show. And that's got to be it. Because if you're reading off a script and it sounds like this, I'm glad you called. We have a good deal. You're dead.
No, I'm laughing because you made it to the call and I wasn't there. And Martha and Kaylee are both a couple of the original co-hosts. They are co-hosts. It's all of our room together. There's about like 8 or 9 of us.
Now, wait a minute. The co-host, because April Simmons insisted today on calling it the April Simmons Human Side of AI
and
show.
Right,
she had
right,
like
she
a
should.
tiara
right,
on.
she should. And we're doing, and like I said earlier, everybody's kind of doing their
lies.
own.
Those are lies. I have no problem calling out bullshit when
April,
bullshit
now
is
wait a
there.
minute.
I will
Here's
give
my
the money.
perfect.
That is bullshit.
Here's my perfect defense, April. I'm a car salesman. I would never lie.
No, but so seriously, the human side, I remember that. So regardless of our brilliance in marketing and everything else and getting it out there and getting engagement, if you're looking to do it, I'm really a dodo that way. I don't market myself. I don't strategize. I should make time. I know this if I want to blow whatever up, but I just like, spontaneity. I like the couple things we do. We do a good morning post. We do an engagement post. What color do you like your coffee? This, that, the other. And then we do something newsworthy from a third site, but the other spontaneous. But my point is that when you get the engagement on your website and you have the comments, I disagree that, Rhonda, I think if you do it the right way, or if you go to this piece I'm going to mention, you can still get organic engagement and conversion on your social. Now I'm speaking of Facebook because LinkedIn to me is where I live, but a lot of you are in Facebook a lot more than I am now. I used to be more so. So I think it's important I think it's important to engage. I think it's important to comment and respond to those who do comment versus just an emoji or something. And there are many people that I love dearly that's what they do because they're working the algorithm, but I'm still going for the human side. I'm looking for the deeper connection. I'm looking for when somebody is on your group page and they make a comment or whatever, read between the lines. If you need to, on the store page, hey, sending you a DM, talk to them whether it's a struggle they're having, whatever. They want that connection with the person from the store. I think that's not just a response or a reaction or a comment or a thumbs up. And then you also, many may not know if you're admin to the Facebook page for the group, you need to go into those who reacted and you need to invite them to like your page. And then you get some organic likes, etc. And do something like a contest. Like 3 years ago, it was a funny car contest, and then give a prize from your dealership, the one who gets the most likes, and then they invite their friends to like your page so they can respond and vote for their friends. And you give them $100 gift, and you've got, you know, several hundred new likes on your page. So I think it's a matter of, I'm not the marketing genius, but I really like the closer connection. And I think we need to go more for conversion, not just for dealership visits, although that's my number one, of course, but I think conversion of just into a deeper relationship with whomever it is that you're commenting with. And that's what I got.
Wow. Wow.
That was
stated,
so
Wendy.
amazing.
Brilliant.
Can I jump in on Wendy right there? Because that was amazing.
One more thing.
Yes.
Start where you are. Don't overthink it.
Great.
Whatever you're doing. You're running an ad campaign. You're doing business to business calls, starting a BDC. Start where you are. Don't overthink it. That's it. Sorry.
No, I love it. Wendy, that was so good. And you, first of all, you don't give yourself enough credit because quite frankly, I'm just out here fucking winging it. So it is, you have like a lot more thought process, I think, behind the things that you do. I know. My bad. This is what happens when I multitask and I get fired up about awesome things. But one thing I want to add about social media that we haven't talked about that's really, I think, important to share, that is kind of an organic thing, is we are, you know, as we have the newer generation coming up, we keep thinking the newer generation, they're just stuck in their phone and they don't, you know, the human side doesn't matter because the technology is most important. Well, that's not true. Statistically proven, the younger generation wants to buy from people that are aligned with the things they care about.
That's right.
So doing social media things that are showcasing what you care about as a dealership, whether it be a pet adoption, whether it be, you know, a providing blankets for the homeless, whatever the thing is that you're doing that and sharing that on social media, especially in video format and whatnot, that stays there. And when customers are trying to decide who to buy from, you can't put all that on your website. And quite frankly, nobody's looking at your website anyway, but you can put it in all of your social media outlets, including your Google business profile pages, your YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, all of it. And now people go, wait a minute, okay, this is the company that I choose to purchase from, as you're getting down low in the funnel, past, you know, car consideration. So that's all I got.
Brilliant, April. Thank you so much. I don't think we've heard from Scott, Trainor, or Jeff. Would one of you fine gentlemen like to contribute?
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'd like to add a couple things. So first of all, there's only really 6 social media platforms when you boil it down. And Mike Larkin, to give him some props, YouTube is almost 10 times the size of Facebook, which is the second most visited site. So that's where you want to be. And then you also got to cater to your audience. So I'm going to give Peter some props because he's one of the most prolific writers that I've seen on LinkedIn. And I mean, Peter, your posts are just amazing to me. And then I want to agree with what April said earlier, that I think the dealers, when they hear social media, they're still stuck in the disc mentality. You know, if I got to pay for it, it better be selling cars. And it's very difficult to measure branding, right? It's because it's not a one-to-one. It's, you know, more of a shotgun blast. And they're all looking for a return on investment. And if I got to spend something for this Facebook engagement or to do a video, damn it, it better, sorry, Rhonda, it better give us leads. It better make sales, right? And that's it's misplaced, if not misleading, I think, from the dealer perspective, because it's not about sales. It's part of your overall mix. And yeah, you need to be doing it. You know, this is one of the best cameras you can buy, right? And I think that maybe the Google ones are even better than my iPhone, but you know, you've got everything that you need. right? Just do something and don't over analyze the expectations.
So I'm just
Beautiful.
going to jump on that before we go to Scott. Excuse me. What I find is that the dealers want the ROI to be basically documented from social media. They want to see their attribution scores from social, and they don't realize that it is a branding. Yet they will allow cars.com, Auto Trader, and all of the rest of them to sell them tens of thousands of dollars of lead generation, and have absolutely zero capability of measuring the attribution from it. But they'll do it because it's lead generation. Oh, it's those leads. We got the leads, the Glengarry, Glen Ross. It's all bullshit. And as soon as dealers start recognizing it, then we will be getting somewhere. We will get somewhere once that light goes off and they see it. Because right now, leads and I look at the tree. I wrote an article just recently on the low hanging fruit. It is absolutely the truth. The dealers look from the bottom up, from the wrong source, when they should be looking from the top down, where the sun hits the tree. That's where the best fruit is, and they should be looking at their first party data and utilizing their own sources of generating that data, which is social, which is their CRM, which is their service. That's where they should be going. And it gets me fired up because I try and speak about it all the time, and I get shot down all the time because I'm telling the truth. And if you read and thanks to Jeff, if you read what I write, it's what you don't want to hear. I'm going to tell you because I don't really care. You're either going to listen to it or you're not. It's up to you. And I go on rants, so I apologize. But
hey, Peter, one thing. We want to hear from Scott, but we got our buddy William Santos from Brazil. Let's make sure we get some words of wisdom from him. His input was terrific.
So let's go to Scott first, and then we'll close out with William.
Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. I'm definitely trying to follow up some great commentary. April, Basel, you guys are social media gurus. But in the end of the day, I want to touch on a couple of things. I does use an example of collaborations. Now, when we're talking collaborations on social media, and who was also just mentioning, somebody just mentioned earlier as well, people want to feel like they're buying from somebody they like, know, and trust. So they want to have that connection with them. So when we're doing collaborations, when you're tagging somebody on social media, you're tagging that animal shelter, you're tagging that restaurant. Because what's going to happen is now, if they're following that page already, they're now going to see the dealership's post because of that collaboration tag. They're going to realize, wow, this dealership cares about what I care about. We might even give that dealership a follow at that point. Are they in market? No, but these are the best time to market these people when they're at the top of the funnel. They're not looking for a vehicle, and all you have to do is entertain and educate them. So you keep them entertained, and then naturally, when it comes time for them to look for a vehicle, who are they going to see? The person they've been following that they know, like, and trust. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's pretty simple.
William, thank you, Scott. William?
Well, hello. And in resume of this talk is we have a hug amount of content on social media. The point I left is to think about the differentiate yourselves, maintain constance. And in the era of AI, bring the human side of your business and leave the automatic tasks for the robots. It's my point. It's the center, is the customer experience. The customer is in the center. And the name is social media. Well, social, not leads, not sales, it's social. That is my point. Thank you.
William, thank you so much.
I wanted to echo something Wendy said too. I also prefer small rooms. because you can get to know people, right? And I'm not shy about talking in front of 500 people, but I'd rather talk to 10 in a room.
Yeah, but Russell said that because it's a small room, he got to know everybody, and now he really doesn't like me. So it can have a negative bounce back.
This is great. I can tell you, somebody made the comment earlier about naysayers or people that say, this and that. They can't stand being in rooms like this. They just can't stand it. They're going to go back and do what they've done. This is where you build the relationship. This is where you learn. This is where you absorb. This is where you make connections. And I love this room. I love all these rooms. I mean, I connect. I started out 4:30 with some of you guys in the morning, my time anyway. Yeah.
You're basically constantly on podcast. Hey, it's near Christmas. Can we take up a fund and get Russell like a Netflix subscription?
No, listen.
Lonely.
I believe, and because I see all of you too, and I watch what you're doing on social media, etc. I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. Successful people do daily what average people do occasionally.
I love it. Well, I got to tell you, without an ounce of cynicism, I reflect and bask in Russell's words, because I feel the same way about everybody. It's such a pleasure to see Russell on a constant basis. We've become so good friends, Peter and Mike Larkin and Jeff. I really, Russell always used the word blessed. I feel blessed because I just have so many good friends. I get to have fun with you guys and learn from you guys. And Russell, I feel the exact same way you do. No matter how crazy the day is, I can't wait for Wednesday at 7 p.m. We can laugh, we can talk, we can share thoughts.
We didn't let Fred talk.
Oh, Fred, Santa. Oh my gosh, you blew it, Larry. I mean, you blew it in a big way.
Excuse me, I'm Jewish.
You're gonna get a lump
I don't
of
need
coal in
Santa.
your
We get
pocket.
gifts 8 days in a row. It's a Jewish thing.
Fred, lay it on us,
8 lumps
brother.
of coal.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait, Fred, are you okay with a good dirty joke, or would that offend your sensibilities? Because I got the greatest Santa joke of all time.
I live with Wendy. I hear it all day long.
Okay, all right. Get the swear jar ready, okay, Rhonda?
Yep, it's ready.
Okay, everybody listening? This is in honor of Fred Thorn, another guy I have grown to know and love. Fred, it's Christmas time at Macy's, and Santa is really cool. He's trying to hip the parents to what the kids really want. And a little black kid comes and sits on his lap, and he said, "What would you like for Christmas?" And the kid says, "I'd like a bicycle." And Santa bellows, "A bicycle! That's the biggest gift this year. I'm so excited." And he sees the parents like giving him a thumbs up. "And if I brought it for you," real loud voice, "where do you think your parents would keep it till Christmas morning?" He said, "Santa, you're scaring me. Won't it be right in front of the fireplace? We always leave you milk and cookies." "Sure it will. Ho, ho, ho." Little Polish kid comes, sits on his lap. He says, "And what would you like for Christmas?" Says Santa, "I'd like a bike." And he bellows out, "A bike! It's the big gift this year." And you see a woman like tap her chest over her, "Thank you." He says, "And if I brought it, where do you think your parents would keep it till Christmas morning?" He says, "Santa, won't it be in our little attic with the tree? That's where me and my sister's gifts were last year." "Ho, ho, ho, yes, sir." A little Italian kid comes, sits on his lap. He says, "Hey, Santa," he says, "what would you like for Christmas?" "I'd like a bike." He says, "Okay, a bike. That's the big gift this year." And he says, "And if I brought it, where do you think your parents would keep it till Christmas morning?" He says, "I think probably down my dad's pants." And Santa says, "I don't understand." He says, "I don't understand either, but every time I ask for a bike, my dad grabs his crotch and goes, 'Here's your fucking bike.'"
Oh my God. And we are going to have to edit this tape.
Oh,
We've got about 4 minutes of show. The rest is vulgarly laid.
Well,
The swear
That was
jar
a
is
good
not
one.
going to do it.
Come on, Scherer. That was
There
a
you
good
go,
joke.
Santa.
You've
Okay,
read
now
let
that
me-
I just embarrassed everybody, one of my dearest friends, Fred Thorn. Fred, let's hear something. Don't even have to be media. We love you.
Okay, now we're just getting ready to go on a razor ride. After the show, I drive actually out on the road when your show started.
Okay.
And told Wendy it's a catch Larry, you know. I said we'll go afterwards because she wants to get out of the house. She's cooped up all day long.
Oh, I hear it, man.
And you know, I wear the hat and that, and everybody waves and cheers. We got the razor all lit up and garland on it, and looks pretty cool. But
I saw pictures of it, Fred. It looks awesome, and I saw you and Wendy running around in your Christmas outfits, and
yeah.
It's
You
really
don't need a Christmas outfit. The guy spreads good cheer all year long. I mean, how can you be in a room with Fred and not be smiling?
I mean, I figured since I had the gun, I might as well grow the beard, you know.
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, I think we've heard from everybody. I think we've all learned a little bit. Russell, you now have a great Christmas joke that'll get you thrown out of church.
I couldn't regurgitate it, but I can tell you, I'm going to leave you with this: 9 of the worst words in the English vocabulary that you can use, and that's "I am from the government and I'm here to help."
My favorite Ronald Reagan quote. I love it. I love it. All right, listen, everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh yeah, thank you.
We appreciate the heck out of you. And that's it. And listen, if anybody's anywhere near Philadelphia the week of Christmas, Paul Meyer is going to join me at John and Peter's in New Hope to sit in the audience. The band's cooking up our Christmas show, a lot of my original Christmas songs. So if anybody's around Philly, the 23rd of December, boy, would it be great to see you in person.
Very cool.
Good night, everybody. Happy Hanukkah.
Stay healthy.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Take care. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.